Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 53 of Infinity Evolved. This is Woolrig, and I have some of my voice back. So we'll see how it goes tonight. I may not do a lot of talking. I finished a few things in here since last time. I put in the crafting storage units and just kind of chained them off the edge over here because I had the space. The nice thing about this chamber is that I don't need to be in here very often, so it can be pretty compact and pretty busy. So you want to cram as much in as you can because these things are pretty expensive power-wise. I think it's 200 or so per setup, 200 RF a tick, something like that. Anyway, this system does work quite well. If we hop up top here and go look, I can actually come in here and request various things. So, you know, there's those guys. Let's just say I want to make 10 more of these. Off they go. And in pretty quick order, they start coming back in. 9, 7, so on and so forth. And if we look, I've actually been making quite a few of those for a while. So yeah, I got quite a few. A lot of that is, those are stored in the other network in the interface, and I actually want to do something like that for this setup as well, and so I want some interfaces and some storage buses. That should give me enough to do what I need to do here. And I actually want to store quite a few because we've got the resources, so why not just go ahead and do that. So we'll put interfaces on one side. 3, probably don't need 3, probably just need, or 4, I mean just need 3, and then I need some crafting cards, 3 of those. Crafting card. Let's make sure that those don't try to get something stored in them, because they do act as storage, and so when the AE system looks to place items in, you can see them pop up in there. But by setting the priority lower like that, that should keep things... Oh, you know what that was? That was those guys going back in. Fair enough. Because I shift-clicked them, of course. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a stack of each of the processors, and I am going to tell each one of these interfaces, oops, that's not right. What I got? Engineering, calculation. There we go. I'm going to tell each one of these guys to store about that many. Because, again, why not? I got the resources. Let's go ahead and store a lot of them. And then we'll put the storage buses on this side and connect up those. That should end up using 6 channels once it all comes online. 3 for the interfaces, 3 for the storage bus. Cool. This will be extract only. Because they should never have to insert those guys. So that is going to do its thing, and if we look here, these guys should be see, these guys over here should be filling up with items, but they're not. sometimes it gets a little tricky. They don't always like to work 100%. See, all of these should be doing something now. And they're not. Alright, let me figure out what's going on here. I wonder if they can't. No, they should be able to request the storage. Oh yeah, and I forgot, you can do that too. You can hide these in the interface terminals. That's going to be handy. So if we go up here and look, we've got an interface terminal here. We've got all these that say nothing on them. I can actually go ahead and hide all of those interfaces, wherever they may be. Where's the rest of them? Well, you know, it's down to 7 now. Not sure what that's all about. Let me do a little digging here. Okay, turns out for some reason it's not pulling out of the primary storage system. So I grabbed a few stacks of gold and I put them in the chest here, and now it's actually processing correctly. I'm not exactly sure why, because that should allow the crafting should be able to request resources. Well, I know it does because I've been using it. Anyway, maybe it's just a bug in it somewhere. I did also find the rest of those interfaces. I forgot that on my contraption down here that there's interfaces all over the place. All these guys that are the inputs and the outputs for the various components. So that's going to work. It's just going to take some time to build these up. So we'll just kind of let it go for a while. And in the meantime, I think it's time to make another room, because this one, we've got some space left in it, but it's getting pretty full. So let's go ahead and pull this one out. And you know what I haven't done yet is I haven't queued up a new spatial storage chamber, which is fine, because in the meantime I need to make another quantum particle. So let's go and grab these guys, take our magnetic ring off, throw that, and kill the zombie. This piece of flint, run away, and quantum particles. Cool. And this one I'm going to name for the... Oops. I probably need a few levels of experience. About that many. That's probably too many, but that's fine. Nope, that was right. Okay, this is going to be the storage chamber. Cool. And you guessed it, this is where we're going to build our storage array. Because what's an AE system without a massive amount of storage? The primary system, you know, it's got the 2 drives. This one I actually want to make, let's see, where's my drives? I don't have them programmed in. Now I do. I want to actually go ahead and make, I don't know, what, about 16 of these guys? Yeah, sure, why not? I'm apparently missing crafting CPUs. What's crafting? Oops. Oh, it's backfilling. That's what it's doing. Oh, haha. And the other system is crafting processors for me over here too, I take it. Because I've probably have extracted them through the system. Yeah, let's just go and tear, where's this one? There we go. Let's go ahead and pull these out. And we can reset these to blank just by running them through our crafting grid. And we get ourselves some more blank. So that's handy. Let's go ahead and cancel those, cancel those, cancel those. Those will kind of finish on their own. So let's go back and make our 16 drives. There we go. Cool. So let those run. In the meantime, I should have some quantum chamber. Excellent. And down here, oops, down here, thank you, we have this guy, which we're going to need. And let's see, the assembly lab, that can just stay in there. We need the quantum link chamber. There we go. And this, we'll go ahead and just put this guy here. Nope, not that one yet. Make ourselves a quantum bridge. Oh man alive, my inventory is getting out of control. Let's see, I'm going to need a couple of points. And for the sake of symmetry, we will put him on this side. Like that. Shift, oops, the memory card, there it is. Shift click the settings off of that one. And this all wired up like that. That should bring this guy online. Because again, he's connected directly to the edge of that controller up there through that quantum bridge. So we don't need to put a battery on that because really, as long as the controller's running and this quantum link is running, which has the battery, these guys will be connected. Cool. All right, so we're done with this room. Go ahead and send it back on its merry way. And we should have our spatial chamber should be done. There it is. Which we don't need right now because we're going to just build our chamber. Let's go ahead and put some of this stuff away. Put that back on. Okay. So let's go ahead and build the quantum link to this room. Like that, that, and there. Cool. Dense energy, or dense cable, comes through nicely. And I'm going to run some dense cable this way. Let's see, how do I want to space this out? Maybe 2 more. Why not? Glowstone. Oh man, I'm missing glowstone. You know what that means? It means a trip to the nether. Alright, let me go get some glowstone. Alright, I had a bit of an idea that instead of going into the nether with my pick here and breaking all of the glowstone and only getting 3, I want to put Silk Touch on here so I can get all 4 of them. But the trouble is that I've already used all of the upgrades available up to the one that requires a nether star. So in order to make a nether star, I need to spawn a wither. In order to spawn a wither, I need a wither skeleton, which I just happen to have in here. Now in order to make this work, because you'll see this just says skeleton, but in order for this to work, let's go ahead and turn this off for a second. Right? On. There we go. Okay, so in order for that to work, I need to set this to spawn an exact copy, because if I just set it to spawn regularly, it's just going to spawn regular skeletons. But this one, because wither skeletons are essentially just skeletons with different NBT data. So if I do this, flip that on, it's going to send it over into there, and eventually, before too much longer, I should get mining fatigue. Oh, right. this sword. Before too much longer, I should get a wither skeleton to spawn. Let's wait a second here. Let's see, that's off, so that guy should be running. Should be running. There he comes. Cool. Wither skeleton. Fantastic. So I'm just going to have to kill a few of these wither skeletons and get some skulls. And then we get to kill another wither. Cool. Back in a bit. Oh, good lord. What have I done? We're just going to go after him with the sword. Right out. And I'm wagering that my armor will protect me. Don't fly away from me. Don't fly away from me. Yay. Cool. That was easy. Did I get everything? I did. Oh yeah, I still need to figure out what that is. Cool. How much wither? Wither 2. Not too bad. Alright, so now I have a nether star. Let's fly back to the base and let this wither wear off. Alright, so now all I should need to do is add this nether star to here. Gives me my one last remaining modifier. Oops. And with that, I can add Silk Touch to this. So this pickaxe has become even more awesome. And with that now we can head to the nether and really mine some glowstone. Cool. And the benefit of Silk Touch as well is that I can mine the nether ores without upsetting the pigmen now. So hey, that's a bonus. So like tin. Look at that. Hey, look, some Ardite right there. Cool. This thing's fast. I forget how fast that is. Look at that. Yeah, the puppy dogs are going to be mad, but they're always mad. Alright, so I'm going to fly around here and get some more, whatever this stuff is. Glowstone. I'll be back shortly. All of that to make some more dense cable. Hey, I remembered what I was doing. I almost didn't. I got back here and I thought, what the heck did I go to the nether for? Yeah, so, that's a thing. All right, so now what are we going to do? Well, let's grab those drives. All 16 of them. Whew, that's going to store a lot. And I'm going to put, let's see, what do we want to do? 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I only want to put 7 per side. Just for symmetry's sake. I mean, I could do 8. Meh. I don't know. And then I need to grab, where's my network tool? Because I don't want this there. Oops, not there. I want some regular cable, which I'm going to need a bunch more of. I don't know, something like that. Good thing I got more glowstone. Cool. So I'm going to start with doing this. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do it this way. And this is going to connect up all these guys. Just like so. Actually, you know what? 7 of these is just about perfect. And I don't even have to do that technically. I can just do that. And that should connect up all 7 of those. Let's do that instead. That looks a lot better. Oops. And it uses less cable. Cool. And because dense energy cables, or dense cable is expensive, let's just go ahead and take these out and just run it around like that. Alright, so now what am I going to do? Well, I've got all these drives. These drive bays, I should say. But there's no drives in them. Well, we're going to do what I did pretty early on, except this time we're going to have a better purpose for it. That's still not going to be enough. I need 2 more. Make ourselves some storage buses here. And what I'm going to do is connect the storage buses to these guys. Across the top. Because, of course, these are storage. Cool, huh? And then I can do one more thing here. I should be able to anyway. That I want to grab a couple interfaces. Fortunately, I've got a bunch of extras. And we're going to connect this up. Now, you might be asking yourself, isn't that using too many channels? And you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. I need to put this back to dense. I had a rhyme with my reason, and then I forgot. So we'll set that back to dense, and I need to do one more thing, which is grab an anchor. I could get fancy with these guys and do a subnet for the storage buses, but that's really not going to really benefit me at all. I mean, I've got the channels. Might as well use them. There we go. So that lights up that. That should put, what's that, 14 channels in use on this side. And I'll do the same on this side. Just like so. Of course, the anchor there is just to make sure that those cables don't connect, because that one's, oops, wrong. Now you can see what happens when you overload a network. See how part of these went offline to light up part of those? Excuse me. My voice is starting to give out on me, so I need to quit talking so much. Channels, they come online. And then the last thing I want to do is actually set this to a high priority, and we'll grab our memory card to help us do the rest. Shift click on that one, click you. There we go. Cool. And the last little bit, I think there's one more thing I think I want to do here. Let me figure out exactly how I want to do that. All right, I am just setting up a interesting little coupling here that I had an idea for. So this is kind of our interface between the two AE systems. And this one has all of our crafting recipes in it. This one doesn't really have any crafting mechanisms yet outside of the processors that we can craft. So what I want to do though is I want to, with my storage here, I want to start filling these as drives are needed. So instead of having to load this room and have storage, put storage in here, I want to use these storage buses programmed with such a high priority that anytime I throw a disk, an empty drive, like say this 64K memory cell, anytime I throw a drive in here, I want it to automatically go into one of these slots, which it does right now. So if I come up here and I throw this into there and look for it, I should be able to see it for one, 64K, and actually I should be able to see it from this side too. Yep, it's right there, but if I go down here and look, it should be, there it is, right there. Excuse me. Anyway, less talking, more demonstration. So what I've got is I've got an interface on the new system, and I've got an export bus on the old system. And this export bus I'm going to program with the 64K memory cell, which I've taught this system how to make these. So if we go and look here now, these are craftable. So what I'm going to do then is set the so the export is going to do that. I'm going to have a crafting card for one thing, but before I go and put that crafting card in, I want to grab another card here that I thought I had. There it is. The redstone card. So what this is going to do, this is going to allow me to program this export bus to work off of a redstone signal. And I want it to be active once per pulse. Active with signal. Let's do once per pulse. And then I'm going to set the level emitter here coming off of the new system. And I'm going to tell it to monitor the 64K drives, and I want to have at least one empty 64K drive. And I want to emit when levels are below limit, which it is right now. And to add to this, I'm going to put the crafting card in, and that actually, if that works right, that should request a 64K drive because we're getting a redstone signal. And once it crafts that, it'll export it into this interface, which then should drop it into storage. Maybe because it already had a... let's turn that to low and then back to high, because it already probably had processed that signal. Should be requesting to build that. There it goes. So we should be crafting one 64K memory cell. And it's actually going pretty quick. Cool. And once it outputs that, as soon as it's finished, shouldn't take too much longer here. Oh, it's got to craft a bunch of pure. Alright, so I'll come back here in a minute once it's crafted all of those. It's got to grow them in the chamber. So it'll just take a minute here. Silly me. I forgot I've got one right here. So let's just go ahead and throw that in. and we exported, and it went down into storage, into the same spot. Cool. If we come up here and tell it we want 2, it'd be this guy. That should turn this one back on. And I should pick up this guy as soon as he's done crafting. Still working on that. Alright, well, I know it's going to work. So I'll set that back to 1. Because I really don't need more than 1. But the nice thing is that these guys will start to autofill. And I don't need to load this room to do that. The last thing I want to do is throw a security terminal on here. And why not? That seems like a decent place to put it. And we've just about used all 32 channels on this room. So this really, hey, it dumped that one out. Cool. Well, it shouldn't have. Because that should have been off. Active with signal. So I should be able to pull that 64K drive out. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I know what it's doing. So it's storing it and pulling it back out, and storing it and pulling it back out, and it's stuck in a loop because, let's see, this guy is set for extract. This guy is set for bidirectional. Let's go insert only. Is that what I want to do? No. I don't know what's going on here. What is this thing doing? I like that my logic processors still seem to be crafting. That's cool. Not exactly sure what that's all about. Oh. Yeah. Because this storage... Well, no. Oh, sure. Because this storage is changing as these guys... I see. Okay. Thought I was going crazy. So what's happening is... Actually, we can probably see it better down here. One of these are changing. And they're changing so fast that it's not even updating. Because as those logic processors come in and out of storage, they're basically incrementing and decrementing. So it's got nothing to do with that. Okay. The last little piece of this is I actually want to pull all of these out. Take this guy. And that guy off of there. Throw those into storage. Cool. We have storage items. That actually should stabilize it too, doing that. Yeah. Weird. Still. Let's set this to insert only. Yeah, we still got something weird going on here. I don't quite understand what that's all about. Huh. Oh, anyway. I think part of it is there's just not enough stuff in here yet. Yeah, that's cool. That's probably crafting another one now, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's crafting another one. That's fine. We'll have a couple extras. Anyway, that's a thing. So what I want to do now is set up a wireless terminal for this network, because I've got one for the primary. Yeah, I'll make one of those eventually. But before we can get too much further, whoops, we need to grab an empty drive, and I need to go into this storage chamber in across the dimension and load the I need to load the chunk that this lives in, and And I want to try and do something a little bit different with some redstone here, so I don't get stuck there again. I mean, I can get back out, it's not a big deal, but I would like to figure out how to make my remote work correctly. So let me try to set up a bit of a redstone signal I have in mind, and come right back with that. Alright, I think I've got this set up to work the way I want it to. So let me just walk you through this real quick. First off, I think the problem that I'm having with the remote receiver and the remote is that when I'm in the chamber and I click the button, it sends the redstone signal instantaneously, which it doesn't give it a chance to. I'm guessing it's something with the code that this remote doesn't get the signal back, that the signal's been received. There's kind of a two-way acknowledgement, I think, because then what happens when I come back, when I use my porter to come back, this thing is still set transmitting a redstone signal, and so is the remote, and so it's like they haven't acknowledged that the signal was sent, so they just continue to send the signal. So what I've done instead is I've set up a little one-time counter circuit. So I've got a timer here that is, right now it's set to 10 seconds. Sure, that seems like a good time. I've got a NOT gate on that, so that the NOT gate is always sending a redstone signal into the timer, which stops the timer. And then I've got this RS latch. And the way that an RS latch works is that it gets a redstone signal. It's got these two inputs, and whichever input it gets the signal from, it sends an output corresponding to what side the input came in. So this side right now is actually sending an output of a redstone signal. Here, I can demonstrate it here. So it's actually sending a high signal out this way, but not towards the NOT gate. And if I push the remote here, what you'll see, first off, I don't have a drive in here, so it's not going to do anything. If I push the remote, what you'll see is now the RS latch is flipped, and it turned off this whole signal. So now the timer's going to go, and the timer's got these outputs. It's got the output, but then it also has these I/O ports. So it's sending a redstone signal back out, and essentially stopping itself because it's flipped this latch, which has now turned the NOT gate off. But what that allows me to do is that this guy can send and receive the signal, and 10 seconds later, it actually processes at the box. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. If this doesn't work to clear this up, well then, not a big deal. But I figured I'd give it a shot. Here we go. Push the button, and 10 seconds later, we should be on our way. And that worked beautifully. So we've come across, everything's looking good over here in this nice little void world that we've got. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So what we need to do here now is come in and first claim the chunk and then load the chunk. And if this works correctly, I should be able to click this button, and 10 seconds later, we wait our obligatory 10 seconds. I should have started counting. Hey! Look at that. That works quite a treat. Now I do see a problem with this setup in that because that storage went offline momentarily, this guy is probably set up and crafting. Yeah. So this guy's crafting another 64K because the storage went offline long enough to trip this signal. And what I should do, actually, you know what? I could set up something similar to that redstone signal down there that basically would give me a buffer time to allow the storage to reload and come back online before it actually sends its redstone signal. So I will probably go ahead and do that off camera, though, because we are out of time for this episode. For now, this is Woolrig. Thanks for watching, and say goodbye to my storage. Bye-bye, storage. I'm going to have to name that cell. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.